Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining the stream. Hey to John and Lewis, Frank, thanks for joining. Nicoletta, thanks for joining. Also, 12K4, cool name. Yeah, so if you haven't joined the past streams, this is actually part 4 of a series of live coding that we've been doing. And the website we're building, you can see here, is from this site, frontendmentor.io. And they have all these different free website templates that you can download, one of which I'm working off of, this one called Clipboard Landing Page. And they're free, but you can also spend $5 and download the sketch file. But I'm just doing the free version. Yeah, Lewis says I should put music on while I wait. I was actually thinking the same thing. I just had been having some... I just kind of wanted to start streaming a few minutes before just to make sure there weren't any technical issues. But yeah, I'm going to look into some background music for next time. So always trying to make it a little better. So here is the page of what we have so far. And let me just kind of size everything correctly. Yeah, thanks everyone for joining. I hope everyone's having a good weekend right now, depending on where you are in the world. Here we go. There we go. Okay, so I think you can see everything then. And my code editor, VS Code. And I think I'd done a little work in styling my stream screen since last time. So I have this blue background and then my social links at the bottom. Just because I'm not really going to do like the donate or whatever stuff, so yeah. Oh, London. Yes, cloudy. Man. Yeah. I feel like weekends are always a good time to like practice coding and learn new things. So let's see where we are in the code. I always have to kind of refresh my memory. Let me just minimize all these. So yeah, so it looks like we have a hero and then 3 of these content sections. So the last one we finished was supercharge, and I kind of put the design JPEGs into this Adobe XD file just to make it a little easier to figure out the size of things. So the hero's up here, and then the snippet section is right below that, and then the access section is below that. And then this is the last section that we finished, supercharge your workflow with these 3 columns. And let's see. Yeah, so we got all that, and then it's just kind of blank below. So let's see what we got to do. Oh, hi, Matthew. Sorry, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Thanks for joining the stream. So we're actually we're getting almost to the finish line with this page, which is pretty exciting. I don't know if we'll finish everything today. We might need to have one additional session because there are the logos and then this clipboard CTA section as well as the footer. Suryo, thank you for joining. Oh, Lewis, you have some good news. Yeah, let's hear it. Suryo, my family's actually from Indonesia. I was born in the States, and unfortunately I don't really speak very much Indonesian aside from food words like nasi goreng, fried rice. But yeah, I think there's a lot of coders in Indonesia. I think some of my followers on Instagram are from Indonesia. So yeah, welcome. Selamat pagi. Although it's probably not morning where you are. But let's see. Okay, so let's look at this first section that we're going to be building today. This is the logos, and it is 5 across on desktop. And if we look at our mobile design, they're stacked in 1 column, and that's kind of a common design pattern for responsive design. Oh, all right, Lewis. Yesterday you received confirmation you've been accepted in university. Oh my gosh, congratulations. Your accommodation has also been accepted. Wow. So you're going to be starting university next month. That's really cool. Congratulations. Where will you be going, if you don't mind me asking? That's really exciting. Man, I wish I had gotten into coding. Well, I sort of taught myself basic HTML in high school and like middle school just for fun. But I feel like it's, whenever I hear about like, high school age kids and college kids really being good at basic web development. I kind of wish I'd gotten into it much earlier. Sunderland University in the UK. Awesome. That's really exciting. Yeah, I guess it is almost time for school to start, huh? Okay, so let's see. Sorry, I gotta stay hydrated because I'm not really used to talking for long periods of time because I work remotely. But okay, so we got 5 logos straight across on desktop and then stacked on mobile. So I will probably just use flexbox for this because, you know, we have the content blocks basically just going in one direction. They're kind of across in a row. And I think in the previous 3-column thing, I had actually tried coding it in both flexbox and CSS grid. Hey, Pranav, thanks for joining the stream. Oh, thank you, Ayodeji. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing, but thanks for subscribing. I appreciate it. So yeah, so I'd previously done these 3 columns in both Flexbox and CSS Grid. I think I ended up just leaving it as CSS Grid. So I could use either Flexbox or Grid for these logos, but I just like Flexbox for simple things like this. So we'll do that. So let's go into our markup in our index.html file. And we are gonna kind of follow the same pattern that we've been doing, where for every section I'll make a little comment and I'll just say logos for this, and then we'll do a section element. Class will be logos. So we're using that emit shortcut where you don't have to type in every single angle bracket. Rohil, thanks for joining the stream. So you can see here I have a section element for all the previous ones. So we'll just kind of do the same thing. Wrapper. I don't know if I need that centered class. Let's find it up here. Oops. So for those of you who are new, I'm using Sass in my workflow. So let me just close this folder up here. But in Sass, I have multiple Sass files. So for every section, I've actually been creating for ones that need custom styles, I have been creating its own Sass file. But here in the global Sass file, I have a bunch of sort of utility or helper classes that I have these styles, and then I can just kind of reuse the class in the element. So it helps with reducing writing duplicate code and stuff like that. So we'll see if we need that centered class, but I feel like I might not, just because, yeah, I think I might not. And there's also a div class of content that I've been using. Let me see, max width of 700 pixels, which I don't think I want because, yeah, these logos are going full width pretty much. Just see, yeah, so it's like full width. It's kind of the wrapper of the entire page. So yeah, one of the things I've noticed that I've kind of, I guess, discovered over my years of coding lots of websites is, like, for responsive design, it's good to kind of have a wrapper class, and kind of you want to kind of cap the max width of your content, otherwise, and then also center it. Otherwise, on really large screens, you know, it's going to go all the way across, and if you have, you know, a big block of text, it's going to be like kind of hard to read. So just for readability's sake, I think it's good to cap off the width. For this page, it looks like it's at 1100 or so. So anyway, I digress. Okay, so I think we don't need this content class that I've been using because it's not text content that I want to limit. We will just create a new container, I think. So since I'm using Flexbox, we want to, I think, create a div of logos. We'll just call it container. Not trying to be too creative with our CSS class names. And then for each logo, we'll enclose it in its own div as well. Although I guess I could do images. Let's see. Let's try just using image tags. See how that goes. I think I've kind of gotten into this habit of using divs and background images because in some ways it's easier to control because you can, you know, say background size cover, and then it'll cover the entire div. But I think for these, it might be good to use image tags. Oh, Nicoletta. She asked, did I create my own framework from scratch, like the wrapper, container, column, etc.? Yes. So I'm not using Bootstrap or any other kind of framework. I've just kind of been building from scratch all these different classes. And yeah, so for example, this wrapper class, let's find that. So it's just add some padding, adds a max width of 1100, margin auto, which will kind of center the content. So I have in the past used frameworks. I haven't used Bootstrap myself, but at work we have used Zerb Foundation, and I've used that. But honestly, with like Flexbox and CSS Grid, I just feel like for grid layouts, you really don't necessarily need a framework. It can make things easier. It can make things a bit quicker in some cases, but yeah. Okay, use Bootstrap Foundation or other CSS framework. Yeah, they can be really heavy, which is kind of why I like not doing this, not using those frameworks when I can. For example, like for my blog, I didn't use a framework at all. I just kind of did Flexbox and Grid, and it's kept it really, really small. I will say that depending on the case, a framework might be useful. Because they already have sort of standardized classes that you can use for, making your grid columns and things like that. And it's, especially if you're working on a team, it can be helpful to have everyone kind of on the same page. Because if, I'm building this site with, my own custom, I guess, framework, you could say, with my helper classes and stuff, if another dev has to take on this project after I leave, hypothetically, assuming this is a client project, then it's going to take some time for them to sort of look through my classes, see how I wrote my styles, because everyone has a different way of writing their HTML and CSS. And so if you're using a framework like Foundation or Bootstrap, it can just be a lot easier if you're taking on a project from someone else or passing it on to someone else, because you kind of know, if you're familiar with it, you know exactly how the code should be written. So I think there can be case for using these frameworks. Some people don't like them, again, because of kind of the code bloat that you have with the CSS and the JavaScript. I don't know about Bootstrap, but at least with Foundation, I know that you can sort of include just for example, JavaScript plugins that you need. So that's what we're doing at work. I recently was trying to cut down on that JavaScript file size. And so that was one of the things I did. We just kind of only included the JavaScript plugins from Foundation that we needed. But yeah, hope that helps. Let's see. Oh, and sorry, Matt, thank you for the sub. Appreciate you joining us. Okay, let's see. All right, so we have the logos container. I think I decided to use some just regular image tags. Let me just see where I put those images. I should have saved them into my folder. Okay, cool. So let's see what the order is. Google, IBM, Microsoft, Hewlett Packard, Vector. So Google, IBM, Microsoft. Okay, so these, it looks like they're just PNGs. So let's try this. Images, logo. This is one of the things I really like about VS Code, because you can see it sort of auto-detected the folder that I have in the project, so I can sort of just start typing, and it'll kind of auto-complete for me. So we'll do Google. We will not set a sort of manual size on this yet. And then if I press Control D, I can duplicate the line. So makes it a little faster. There's 5 total. So the next one was IBM, I believe. IBM, and then what was it? Microsoft, HP, Vector, Microsoft, HP, and Vector graphics. There we go. Cool. Rohill, can I make a video on SVGs and how to use them in a project? It's hard to change the height and width of SVGs. Yeah, that's actually a really good idea. I think if I have used SVGs at work, but just kind of very basic. Often what I'll do is I will use them as a background image. So then you can make sure that it doesn't get skewed in the size. Because for images, the tricky thing is you really should only explicitly set either the height or the width. So then the browser can sort of figure out, the correct aspect ratio of the image. Because if you set a static height and width of the image, and this can happen even if you do like, max width of whatever, then your image falls into the danger of potentially getting kind of skewed. Yeah, I haven't, Frank, that's interesting. I'm not sure. I feel like I haven't tried that approach before. But yeah, you can try it and hopefully it'll work. But what I usually do is I usually set it as a background image. It just makes it easier. All right. So, this might be overkill, but I am going to create a separate logos Sass file, just for the sake of kind of trying to be consistent. So we have our new file here. Let me move it over to the other side. And then when you create a new Sass file, you do need to add it as a reference. You have to refer to it in your main style.scss file. So let's see what we got here. So we're going to start with logos, and then using our Sass, I'm not sure what they're called. Oops, logos container. So the ampersand just means it'll look up to the root. So I like using this method because I will set sort of the name of that section just by itself in the parent, and then inside the parent, the child elements, I'll use the name and then 2 underscores, and then so that means that it's kind of easier to parse through the code. And I know that I can write styles up here as well for the parent element. So in that way, I kind of have control over every part of this section. So we'll do container, and then in container we have images. So we'll just say if there's a direct child of container, we use this angle bracket and then the image tag. So this is kind of where I'm going to write my styles. So I believe we said, let's look back at our design. On desktop, we have it 5 across and then it's stacked on mobile. So I'm only going to use display flex for our desktop sizes. And if we look back on another Sass file I made before, I believe I made some breakpoints here. So we're using this, I guess it's called a map, but it's basically like an array. And I have my sizes for my breakpoints set here. Then I have this mix-in so that if I want to just use these styles for, say, desktop, I'll say include, and that calls the breakpoint. And then the name of the breakpoint, the name of the mix-in, I'm sorry, include is for mix-ins. Include breakpoint, and then the parameter is the size. So I want to say for large up. So this means that anything that has a minimum width of 1,000, so that means 1,000 and up, it will use these styles that I'm about to write here. And it'll be display flex. And by default, flexbox will assume you want columns, so I don't need to do flex, what was it? Direction, I believe? Yeah. So if you can also do a flex container going in rows, but the default is columns, so that's the default. I'm not going to explicitly set it. And we'll say justify content, and I want that to be space around between. Space between means that the end elements will be flush to the left and right edges. So let's just see how that goes. We won't do any styles here for now. Well, actually, I guess we'll do flex one. I think that's a default, but I like to just explicitly set my flex property. And this means that each of the image tags in the logos container will take up the same width of space. That's flex of 1. It's kind of like a ratio. Okay, so let's see how that, whoa. Well, that's not good. I might need to set a height of auto. Let's see if that helps. Nope. So each image is 209. Interesting. I feel like hide auto should have worked. Yeah. Why? I'm just gonna, let's see what happens. So yeah, still skewed because the width is now set to 202 or whatever it is. That looks okay. That's weird. Okay, guys, we're gonna figure this out. I hope. So it's like live coding, everything is just kind of out there. So like if I make mistakes, everyone on the internet can see it. So for those of you who are learning, I hope this makes you feel better because I, believe it or not, am a professional web developer and I've been working for a number of years, but I still, get stuck and make mistakes and stuff. So it's all good. You just got to kind of figure it out. So let's see, why are these images getting skewed? So I know they're getting limited to, whatever the 1/5 of the total width is. Okay, I'm just gonna add our little border here. I like to do this because you can see things easier. Let's see. Oh, Ilyas, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. Yeah, the height does seem to be stretched, right? So right now the height is 87. So why is it not working if let's set the height to something, okay? Height of, let's say 30 pixels. Just see what happens. Oh my gosh. I wonder if it won't work to have flex child elements as the image tags themselves because the width is always going to be sort of controlled. But I don't understand why the height auto doesn't work. Oh, I think it might be because they're setting all the height to the same height because it's flex. Whereas you can see here, how do I move this? I think the logos are actually, I forgot. This is not it's not an actual design file. So got to do this. But it looks like their heights are not the same. Yeah. Like the Microsoft phone is much shorter than like say the IBM one. So, hi JM. I did not set image width to 100%, but it is sort of automatically set to 100% of 1/5 of the width because this is using flexbox. So I think what I actually need to do is just put these images in a div. Yes, I think I will try that. Let's try that. I've discovered that a lot of things in CSS can be fixed if you just put it in a div. Let's see if this helps. We'll just say logos. Logo. We'll just say logo. I don't want to confuse things too much. Let's try this. Add padding. I don't know if that would work because I need to make it responsive. So this is the idea I'm going to try to do here. It is because I think if I put it in a div, then the div's width will be, controlled by the flexbox width to be 1/5 of the width. But I'm hoping the image tag inside, I can sort of control that a little bit separately. So we'll see what happens. Nicoletta's, padding and margin auto. It's possible. Nicoletta says should move the images in the middle of their own space. Yeah. I think right now I'm just trying to control the aspect ratio, I guess. So we're going to do this. Logo, and then in here we'll do image. I'll just remove that child thing. Okay, And we'll put the flex on the logo child element. All right, let's see if this works. Oh my gosh. Okay, they do look small, but at least they are not skewed like they were before. So it looks like, what's happening here? Yeah, so let me move this border out to the logo itself, and then we'll add another one, just blue. Hey, McCaffrey, thanks for joining. Glad you could make it. Okay, so the red is each of the logo like divs, so that one is controlled by flex. So that in this case, all these logo divs are the same width, right? But inside the logos, it's not flexed or anything. So the image is just kind of, I guess I set the height to 30. I'll take that out. But then the image can just be kind of whatever size that it wants to be. So I think it's actually trying to be the original size. Yeah, so it's about the same. I think the border's adding a bit of extra. So I think that's maybe a good way of doing that. And then I'll have to vertically align these. So I think, Lewis, the padding, margin auto, zero auto, I think it'll help with positioning. We might have to add that in a second, but it would not necessarily have helped with the like aspect ratio skewing stuff. Leonel, hey, thanks for joining us again. All right. So I hope that helps. Yeah. So we have the aspect ratio thing fixed. So now we will, let me just double check the sizing here. That looks about the same, right? Yeah. So now all I need to do is sort of vertically align these. And what I think I'm going to do is I'll have to set flex on the logo thing too. So on the logo, which is already a flex child of logos container, we're going to do another one. So we'll do display flex. Okay, don't worry about that for a second. Flex direction, column. No. This is bad. Let me think. Wow, guys, I feel very ashamed to call myself a developer right now. Okay, let's see if I can fix this. That's not working. So what I want to do is yeah. So we can align to, we'll do align item center. Oh my gosh, Nicoletta. I wish I could give prizes out. Yes, that works. Yes, Pranav, thank you too. Why did this work? Align item center. I'm just trying to figure out how align item center fixed the skewing issue. So it's going in columns, so it means it's assuming it'll go vertically. And align items aligns it on the horizontal axis. Man, I don't know. I'm just really confused right now. Lionel, have I thought about doing a live tutorial on Wednesday? Possibly, yes. I think I did do 2, I think last week was it? This week was a bit busy. I have like family visiting and stuff. Eventually I do definitely want to do live coding twice a week, just because I can do it at different times, and I think it'll sort of help with people depending on what their time zone is. So like, yeah, I can't actually do Wednesdays because I have a weekly commitment that night. But I might try to do either Tuesdays or Thursdays in the future. But I think right now I'm just trying to get consistent at live streaming once a week. So yeah, what part of the world are you in? Are weekdays a bit better for you? Or for any of you, I'm just kind of curious, like what days and times can work for people. Maybe I'll make a poll on Twitter or something. Okay. So I still don't know why this is working. I may have to do some research on flexbox and like image tags. It works, Nicoletta says, I think it works because it forces the image to stay in the middle, like using margin auto 0. And this way the image can have its own aspect ratio. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, you're at work. I'm sorry, man. Yeah. Oh, that's kind of sucks. You work on the weekend. Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't do Wednesdays, at least at this moment. But we'll see. You know, things can always change. Okay. Thank you. So I guess Nicoletta and Pranav, you guys knew about this thing. I'm just really curious, so let's CSS flexbox align items image aspect ratio. Thanks, Nicoletta. Here we go. Maintain aspect ratio when changing height. Yeah, I feel like live coding is just like, it's like my willingness to just be humiliated in public in terms of my coding skills, but it's all good. Okay, looks like this. Okay, this person seems to be doing the same thing I was doing. Okay, this guy says use a background image, which is what I usually do. And then for image tags, we define one side, the other side is resized. So, width of 100%. I wonder if that would work. I think, Lewis, that's what you were suggesting, right? Okay, I'm just really curious, so let's just see. Image. Or I think I tried that though, width of 100%. And then this actually, the aspect ratio looks okay. I just need to add some padding because it's sort of like, oh, that works too. Okay, y'all, I just like, oh wait, did that even change the size of the images? Yeah, it did. Okay. So I guess everyone was right. So I guess setting some kind of property on the flex child will, if it's an image, will like make it have the correct aspect ratio. Flexbox is so like weird. Okay, let me copy these styles before I like totally forget. Nicoletta says, when someone's watching me, especially your boss, yeah, that's, just have to open a file. Cool, Johnny, thanks for joining. Have I tried making websites using grid? Yes, well, I did. You might have to catch the past stream because I'm just using Flexbox for this section, which is, you can see I'm kind of failing a bit at it. But I did use CSS Grid for, I think, the previous section here. So you can check on my YouTube. It should be part 3 of this series, but I kind of use a combination. It sort of depends on what you're trying to make. But yeah, Pranav says when you have a speech on a topic, you don't even remember a single word. Yeah. Okay, JM says on that case use margin auto. So it fills the space vertically, aligning it to the middle. Okay, let's see if that works. Okay, we'll just go back to align items. Uh-oh, what did I do? There we go. Margin auto. Oh. Man, guys. I feel like you're smarter than I am. Let's see if this margin auto works for if I remove the display flex from the logo itself. Oh, that's weird. Do I need to do display block? But it's not aligning it vertically, so I think I do need the flex on the logo image itself. Okay, so we'll just remove this padding, and then because we want to align it vertically and it is a column thing, we want to do justify content center. You guys, we did it. Okay, now I need to copy this before I forget. So copy this in the logo element. And I also need to remember to not save because I have this automatic rewriter thing going on. The Sass live extension. Oh, cool, Johnny. Thanks for the sub. Okay, where was I? Image, and then, okay, I didn't really have any properties here, so that should be okay. All right, let's save and see if it works. It works. Why did this, oh, I must have set the height or something. At least the aspect ratio looks okay. Cool Johnny says I find it easier to align with grid. Having to keep up with the lines is confusing, yeah. I guess grid could work too. Yeah. I think the cool thing about like web dev and stuff is that there's generally not, there's like almost never just one way to do something. So like, yeah, you could totally use grid to do this if you wanted to. Yeah, the logos are kind of small. Let's try to figure that out. So I wonder if I just need to set a height on this thing. Because like, if we look up here, let's see what the height of the kind of container of all these is, like the max height. Looks like that is there. Move that down a little bit. So it's like maybe 60. Let's just try setting the logo to height of 60. That didn't work. Maybe I need to set it on the images. No, but then it'll be kind of weird, right? Oh, it is because of this. I forgot. That's way too big. I don't know, you guys. I hate to say it, but I might need to set the height of each of them individually because it looks like they're different heights. So let's do that. So logo image, which means I'm going to have to add classes to each of these. Let me just make sure that this like setting height individually will work. So it looks like the Google one is about, we'll do the biggest and the smallest. So maybe IBM. IBM is about 50 height, and the smallest height one seems to be probably Microsoft. So IBM's 50, Microsoft is 34. So let's just do this manually. Let me reload. Okay, IBM height of 50, I believe. Oh, I'm sorry, I need to do it on the image tag itself. Okay, height of 50. Okay, that looks good. I think this will work. And the vector graphics one is height of 34. Okay. So I think I was hoping that I could just make it work with just sort of uniform styles. Yeah, it was working fine before. What if I just remove the height completely? Oh. Okay, logo image. Let's remove the height. Oh, JM, thank you for the sub. Okay. This height of 30 kind of messed me up a bunch. I think I don't need that border anymore, so we'll just take that as well. Yeah, thank you, Pranav. Okay, so that looks all right. Let's see how it looks. We'll keep this red border just for the sake of seeing things. Cool. So yeah, I'm curious, for those of you, like Nicoletta, you mentioned a job. Are you working as a web developer or programmer, or for the rest of you, are you just learning how to code, or do you work in code and do code as well? I'm just kind of curious where everyone's coming from. Yep, it takes a while sometimes. Gosh, yeah. Like, I have to say, like, I have done some back end, but I've always found that front end is just like way more like time consuming. Just because like little things like this can kind of set you back in terms of time, but it's really fun. I like working with CSS and stuff. So, all right, we're doing our testing to see how things look on different widths. This looks okay. Like, I think the spacing it's not like it's right up against one another. I think also because they're centered, but I do wonder if it would be good to add a little padding on the left and right for these logo elements. Just so maybe let's try 10 pixels on each side. That didn't look like it did anything. Well, I guess because the images are, there you go. So you can see that did something. Let's do that. We'll do padding 20 pixels on each side for the logo. Grazor, Thank you for joining. We are doing well. Cool, Johnny. You started 4 months ago. More content for the past 2 months. Wow, cool. Well, congrats on, I guess, getting a developer job. That's great. Nicoletta, you're working as a front-end developer in London. Cool. Used to work as a full stack in Italy. Yeah, I started as a self-taught. No uni for you. JM PHP. Cool. Full stack for the last 2 years. Yeah, my last job, I worked at an advertising agency, and there were some devs, or like one dev who he was a PHP dev with like Laravel and stuff, and I've heard really great things about that. But yeah, also I did not go to college for computer science or anything, so I got a degree in photography, which is not really related to coding, but I think having I think a sort of artistic or design eye does help with doing front end. But that's just my guess. But yeah, I think nowadays you can definitely become a web developer without necessarily needing traditional education. So Gustavo, you're learning to code. Cool. Currently working minimum wage retail. Just enrolled in the bootcamp for front end development. Hoping to change your life soon. Awesome. What bootcamp are you going to attend? I'm just curious. Yeah, bootcamps are cool. I actually have some friends who are developers now who learned coding at a bootcamp. And the weird thing is, like, I asked them would they recommend a bootcamp to other people, and all of them are like, oh, I don't know. But like, the fact is, like, it helped them get a job. So it's kind of like this funny thing. Oh, Sayeda, Neha, thank you for joining us. You're learning to code JavaScript. Yeah, JavaScript's great. Yeah. When I was younger, I wanted to be an artist, even though I didn't really know what that meant. And I didn't really understand that it's hard to kind of make a living as an artistic photographer. But, you know. Lena always says you're a newbie. Yeah. Oh, man, don't feel intimidated. I think we're all at different levels, you know. Even myself, you saw that I was, like, having a lot of trouble with the flex images. So I think imposter syndrome is real, but just want to encourage you that, you know, everyone's learning something. No one knows everything. And there's just so much stuff to learn that, you know, you're always going to be learning, even myself. And like, I've been working in the field for 7 years now, but there's still things that I don't know. Cool. So yeah, good luck, Lino, on your learning experience, and also to all the rest of you as well who are trying to change careers and stuff like that. So I hope this is helpful for everyone. Alt Academy, cool. What attracted to me was having a personal mentor and the price is low. Cool. That's great. Yeah, for any of you who are interested in boot camps, I think I've heard of this site called Course Report, and they actually have reviews from real people. So I think it's like a good place to just do research on boot camps. Yeah. 12K4. Oh, hi from France. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, Pranav says I started learning HTML and CSS 4 months back. Yeah. But yeah, imposter syndrome is real. I mean, for me, my first real job working in advertising, the first year I was just convinced that they were going to fire me because, you know, I didn't have like a formal education in web development. But I just kind of fought through it. I did a lot of Googling. Everyone Googles, by the way, no matter how long you've been working. And I think, honestly, like, not to scare you guys, but I think it was only in year 5 that I really felt confident. And I didn't really struggle as much with imposter syndrome. But I will say year 2, I think I felt less like afraid that I would be losing my job due to incompetence. Yeah. In this area, you never know everything. Yeah, everything's always changing. That's right, Pranav. Frank, you can try to make a local container. Yeah, what's your suggestion? Stack Overflow is our best friend, that's for sure. Yeah, I really want to get this t-shirt by, let me just show you guys because it's like hilarious. What is it? The Practical Dev? Or I think it's dev.to. They have this hilarious shirt. Maybe it's not here, but Practical Dev t-shirt, copying and pasting. Here we go. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Okay, I can't find it. Maybe there's an image. Here we go. Yeah, I really want this shirt. It's hilarious. Copying and pasting from Stack Overflow. Oh, that looks a bit like someone found this really awesome image and just like cloned it. But anyway, they have this shirt and I kind of want it because it's just so true. Logo container, display inline flex, then align item center. Yeah, that sounds like it could work. Let's see. Let's just try it in the browser. Logos container, display inline flex, you said? And then align item center. Interesting. I actually have not used inline flex very much. Align item center and justify content space around. Cool. Yeah, I think for space around, it'll evenly space the items, and then it'll add like space on either side, like evenly. And then space between will sort of make them go to the edge. And it's not working now, I think, just because I have a smaller size browser window. But yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, again, it's just like, it's cool because there's always more than one way to do something. Okay, so let's just make sure this looks good on all devices. Okay, it looks like we need to add a little space there for mobile. So I always have my dev tools open. And one cool thing that I'm using Firefox, but other browsers like Chrome, I'm sure Safari has the same thing, but they have this thing. It says responsive design mode. So it'll actually sort of emulate the width of different mobile devices like iPad and then different iPhones. So let's just add that space between the logos. Let's see how much there is. Oh, why is it? There we go. This is like my very hacky way of figuring out how big things are on my JPEG. Okay, so it looks like 65 pixels tall. Yeah, Pronoun says Chrome has the same thing. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I don't know if Chrome has a CSS grid inspector, but Firefox has that, so that's also helpful if you're doing a lot of grid stuff. Okay, so it looks like there's about maybe 60. You don't need to split hairs here. We'll just put 60 pixels between each logo. So one thing I like to do is when I'm adding spacing between elements, I personally only like to add things either on the bottom, I like to add space just on the bottom or on like the right side, usually. So for the logo, what I'm going to do is I'll just add it to the logo div itself. I'll say margin bottom, and we'll make sure this only works on mobile and tablet. What was it, 60 pixels? So, and then I'll remove that bottom margin from the last logo. So let's just do this. Go back to our code editor. And so for the logo div, we'll say margin bottom 60. Oh, but then I need to not do it for desktop. Include breakpoint. So we're using our breakpoint mixin again. So for large, we'll do margin bottom 0 pixels. Cool. This image with 100% and display block. Yeah, I think that would work as well. Let's just see how this looks. Oops. I mean, this looks okay to me, but yeah, I think the display block thing would work. Oh, set width to 100%. I don't know if that. Yeah, I think it's okay as it is. It doesn't look like they're all the same width. Let's just check that though, because you might be right. They're varying widths, it looks like. So we'll just keep it as the sort of natural width that the images are set at. Gian, sorry, hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right. Forgive me if I'm not. Which platform would you recommend a 16-year-old to make your first money developing web apps? I think that the platform and language doesn't matter. It matters less than your sort of business idea, if that makes sense, because you can build pretty much any app in like whatever platform you want, whether it's React or PHP or, you know, C# or Java or whatever, or Ruby or Python. There's a lot of choices out there. So if you're trying to make a business idea and make money off of it, I would just start with, if you know how to code, I would start with what you know. So like whatever language you're most comfortable with, because then you can build your app more quickly. Other than that, like there's no, you know, one best language or platform for anything really. It just depends on, you know, what you want to do it for. So yeah, Python's good to start with. Yeah, Frank, you need space between, depends on your container. Yeah. But yeah, Gianna, I hope that helps. And let me know if I'm mispronouncing your name and tell me how to say it correctly. Let's see. Yeah, I feel like there's a little bit of a delay when I'm actually streaming the live thing in terms of seeing the chat. So I apologize if my answers are a bit delayed. Okay, so I think we are done with the logo section. Woohoo! Let's go back to our desktop view. One last check. Okay, that looks good. I think we can check that off. Let's look back at our design file again. See what's next. Okay, so next is our CTA section here. And I think I had some buttons earlier. Yeah, so this is actually very similar. It has this title here, subtitle, and 2 buttons. Okay, so I think I can reuse the button classes and then reuse this paragraph, because I believe I had set some sort of global styles on the paragraph elements, and I can show you what I did. Gian says, thinking about freelancing platforms, small jobs, since you already know how to code. You released 3 iOS and Android apps. Wow! JS and React Native. Hey man, that's a good way to go. Yeah, React is something that I want to learn this year. But I mean, it seems like you're kind of doing it already, so that's awesome. Yeah, 16 years old. Again, I wish I'd done this much earlier in life, but you know, no regrets, right? But yeah, just curious, like what apps have you made? If you don't mind sharing, you know, if you don't feel comfortable, that's fine too. Okay, let's get back to this. So I think this is the clipboard for iOS and macOS. That should be an H2 tag, I believe, and then this is just a paragraph tag and then buttons. So should be fairly straightforward. Let's see. Okay, so we'll close the logos. Yay! Go on to the next one. What should we call this? We'll call this a CTA section. So CTA, add another section, and we'll call this CTA for lack of a better word. Oops. Messed that up. There we go. CTA. I wonder if I can add multiple classes. Nope. Okay, it's fine. We'll add wrapper as well. Okay. Developing web apps with Node.js and Vue.js. Cool. Oh. Frank says you can achieve the same result with a not last child. Oh, that's a good point. I think that's actually better. Let's do that. Go back to the logo section. Sorry, I'm thinking about my breakpoints. Logo, was it not last child? Is it like that? I don't remember. 1 second. Let's just test this in the browser. Yeah, Frank, thank you for your suggestions. Do you work as a developer now? Or are you learning? Let's see. All right, logo, we'll do not. Last child. Is that right? Oh, looks like it's something. Margin bottom 60 pixels. Oops. That doesn't seem like it worked. I think my selector is wrong. Oh wait, it did take the margin out. Oh, but just for mobile. Duh. Sorry. Let's see. Oh, wait, no. Why is this not working? Sorry, I need to look this up. Not selector. Frank, I think you know more than I do. All right, let's see. Okay, so there's a colon in front of not, and then in front of the selector itself. Okay, so not, and then parentheses, and then last child. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a much better way. I forgot about that last child thing. So thank you for that. Okay. Not parentheses and then colon last child. And let's see if this works for this thing here. Okay. Nice. Let's go back to desktop. Okay, so it looks like I need to add my little breakpoint there too. There we go. Okay, wait. Oh boy, guys. Oh, wait. That's not right. That's backwards of what I wanted to do. So I was adding the margin bottom to the desktop widths. There we go. So basically, I'm looking at the not last child elements and then adding margin bottom for 60 pixels, but then 0 if it's large. So there we go. Okay, so no margins there. And then let's check on mobile. Cool. All right, yeah, Frank, thank you for that suggestion. Sorry, let me look at the chat again. Half hour, power hour. Oh, section.class1. Let's try that. I'm just really curious. Section.cta. Oh my gosh, thank you. I promise I am a professional web developer. Yeah, I just started learning Emmet kind of recently, but it's been pretty cool. Gustavo says, super newbie question, but how do you jump to the end of the line on your editor with one button? Yeah, I just press the end button. Gian, they're apps for students. Everything a student needs, like homework, studying vocab. Wow, very cool. Seriously, that's like it's so awesome that you're doing this at a young age. No offense for saying that you're young, but you are young. It's actually, if you're on Instagram, there's another teenage developer. I think he lives in Europe. Jen's Codes. He's in high school, but he's like doing freelance work, and like his dream is to make his own agency. So it's like pretty crazy. Cool. All right, let's get back to this. Okay, so we're going to do this thing, Clipboard for iOS and macOS, available for free. Let me just find where that text is. So the cool thing for Frontend Mentor is that when you download the files, they also give you an index.html file. I made my own index.html file, but they give you all the copy, so you don't have to like worry about typing it all out. Okay, so since this text copy, you can see it's not going all the way out to the 1100 max width that we have for most of it, and that's where that content class div comes in. And I'll show you all, what I'm talking about. But let's just add this text in here. H2, and then this just should be a p tag. And there's gonna be some class I need to add to that, and I'll show you where that is in a second. And then we have buttons, and I had used buttons up at the top in the hero. So let's check this out. Yeah, so I might need to do this also. I'll just copy this. And we'll change that hero class to the CTA. I'll just say CTA buttons. Okay. So yeah, he's really cool. Jen's codes. I think he's been a bit busy lately, maybe with school, or he's been like on vacation or something. So he hasn't been posting as often as he has in the past, but life gets in the way. Okay. Oh, I need the centered class too. Ta-da! That's why helper classes are awesome, because I don't have to keep writing, text line center or whatever. Okay, so let's see this. It's the same size. I'm just trying to see what the paragraph size is, because let me show you actually. In my global SCSS file, I had done, here we go. So paragraph tags. So I added some like helper classes to control the font size. So I'm trying to see which size I am using. Let's see, how big is this? Looks like it's the same size as we've got the tools thing. So let me see what class I did for that. Medium. Okay, so we'll add class of medium. There we go. Cool. Oh, Phoenix Abhishek, thank you for joining us. I'm sort of trying to make this a normal time, like it's 10 a.m. my time on Saturdays. So I'm going to try to keep that consistent just so people sort of know it's going to be happening at that time. Frank says I don't need media queries. For which part? I'm trying to sort of finish this up here. Oh yeah, I forgot the centered class. Thanks, man. Yeah. Oh, do you mean for the, you probably mean for the paragraph sizes. Yeah, I think there's a lot of like responsive typography stuff that I need to kind of get better at. Because I know there are ways to calculate the font size through, like the viewport height and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm trying to make it centered, so I just added my centered class here. Ta-da! Okay. Now, interesting. I'm just kind of looking at down here. Oh yeah, I added a margin bottom. Let's see how big the margin is down here. No, actually it might be about the same. I think it was 50 pixels, if I remember correctly. Let's see. Yeah, so we'll just add that margin bottom utility class as well. There we go. Okay, so now there's a margin. Phoenix, it's around the same time here at 10 p.m. Sorry, dude. What part of the world are you from? It's a little bit of a margin here, but I think that might be already about 30, maybe a bit less. I think that looks okay though. I'm not gonna split hairs here. I think that's good. I'm happy with that. Looks like I don't have the borders and the shadows on the buttons. And I know that I think, oh my gosh, did I forget to code these in the top? I swear I did that. What happened? I must have forgotten. Okay. So what I'm talking about is, you can see on these buttons here, there's like there's a bottom border for the rounded button, and then there's also like a box shadow. India. Okay. Yeah, I think, yeah, it's just hard to figure out there's no best time for everyone, obviously, because we're all in different time zones. But yeah, I said previously, I think, I forgot who was asking, but maybe it was Leonel. Trying to add another day that I stream per week, so then I'm streaming 2 days per week at sort of different times. So I think if I added another day, it would be either Tuesday or Thursday at like 8 p.m. Central Time. So I guess that would be 8 a.m. in India. But then people in Europe would it would be like 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. for them. But at least it would be a bit better, I think, for people in Asia, Australia. Top ones have more space between them than the bottom ones. You mean these buttons? Oh, and the bottom ones. Let's see. Yeah, that's not very much space. Oh, might be the same. Do you mean between the buttons, Phoenix? Okay. Let us continue. Where was I? Okay. So, oh yeah, the shadow, oh yeah. Why is there, thanks for noticing that. I gotcha. Oh, it's because, it's because this was using heroes __ CTA, and I am using a different class here. So, let's see. I need to add the styles for there. You know what? Because this is basically the same styles I'm going to be using. I'm going to remove it from the hero section. I'm going to put it into global, and we're going to call it something else and rename it in both the hero and the CTA section. So let's do. There's a button section here that I had, I think. Here we go, buttons. So we'll do CTA buttons just so we kind of remember. And we'll add this here. So I'm just going to create a helper class here. So let's call it CTA container. Yeah, this should work. CTA container. And then I'll name this CTA container, go up to the hero, and then rename hero CTA container as well. And then both sections should have the same styles. So let's see. Yeah, McCaffrey says I did board and chat the last two. Nicoletta says there's different ways to handle responsive typography. You can use a responsive unit itself or use media queries with Sass mixin. No shame. Thanks. Yeah, I think there's a few areas in CSS that I definitely need to kind of brush up on. And I want to write a blog post at some point about looking at different popular websites in the web development space and seeing how they handle their font sizes. And it's been kind of interesting. I was looking at CSS Tricks, Smashing Magazine, Mozilla MDN, some other ones, and just seeing they all did font sizes different ways. None of them did it the exact same way. So it's pretty interesting. There's never, in terms of what unit to use, how to calculate it, stuff like that. But yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. I remember doing the borders and shadows. I must have deleted it or something because, oh wait, here, box shadow. Okay. I must have done something to remove it. Weird. It has button class cyan and purple. Why is that not working? That's weird. Background color, border bottom. Okay, hold on one sec, everyone. Let's go back up to the top. Button cyan. It's background color, border bottom. Oh, on hover, I added a box shadow. Oh, okay. So I did add it, but it's just like only on the, I think I must have been like considering this would just be the active state. I think that's what I did because it does look like it's working. Okay. Whew. I'm not going crazy. Okay. Sorry. Let's see. Cool Johnny, do you guys give buttons a width or just use padding? It depends. I'm sorry. Every answer is always like, it depends. What did I do? I think I just added padding on this one. I think what I'll do is often I will add padding and then I'll also add a max width. So then the button can't be like, you know, crazy big. Oh, Frank says you can prefix your utility classes like u.-text center. Yeah. I think everyone has a different way of, coding, but that's a really good approach. Just so you know. Phoenix says, since you're using Sass, what level of nesting do you prefer? Yeah. I think I've heard that you shouldn't do like more than 3 levels or something. So I think that's one reason why I like having separate Sass files so that I'm not going, you know, this is going just like 1 level in. So I think I'll do 3 levels in. That's kind of my max. Yeah, McCaffrey says you'll do padding rather than width for the buttons. Yeah, you can try different things and see what works for you. Ooh, righty. Okay, so I think the section's sort of done actually. Let me just check on responsive stuff. Oh, I should remove those red borders as well. So you can see here that the buttons are like completely wide, 100%, and it's probably the same up there. So that's a little wide, but let me just, you know, obviously on a mobile phone, it's just going to be like that, which looks fine. But let's look at it on iPad. Okay, so it looks like iPad is using sort of the desktop styles. So I think that's fine because, you know, that looks fine. Kindle Fire looks fine. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Cause like I don't think there's gonna be that many people who are gonna like have their browser size be like right here before it picks up. So yeah. Borders is the console log of CSS. Yes, I saw that tweet. That was hilarious. Well, yeah, let me take that out. That was on the logos section. Here we go. We'll just remove that. Hey, hi, you're doing great. Thanks. Yeah, it's hard to code and keep up with the chat, but you know, as long as y'all are fine with slightly delayed responses, then we're all good. Okay, so we did this. Wow, the only thing left is the footer, so let's just go ahead and do that. So if you notice, because I had my utility helper classes, like it made coding this section much easier because I'd done it before. So I just kind of reused those classes. So footer, we'll minimize these other sections. Okay, footer. I'm going to use a footer element. Footer. Add a little extra line there. Okay. I know, only the footer left. Everyone, you should be very excited. Okay, so let's see. This is this very light gray color, which I don't believe we've used before. Let's see if Frontend Mentor gave us the info for that color in here. Okay, it's fine. We can figure that out. Let's see. Totally hacky, but this is something that I do when I need to find colors, because this is a free program called OrphanView. I think it's only available for PC, so apologies for all of you who use Macs, but It's a simple image sort of editor and stuff. If you hold down, it'll tell you the hex code up in the top. So that is F5, F6, F8, F5, F6, F8, F5, F6, F8. Oh, what's the light gray? Anyone? Very extra light gray. F5, F6, F8. And the other ones were HSL, but we'll just do the hex code. So we created the Sass variable for our colors, and then we're going to need to create a new Sass file. We'll call it footer. Add a little reference there in our main Sass file. And then in the footer, we'll say footer. And then background color. And we'll use our variable. Cool. Cool Johnny says you're used to padding also. Sometimes you have to do padding differently than other elements if you want the buttons to be the same width. Yeah. That can be a bit tricky. So I think I will, yeah. Sometimes I'll use a static padding width. But it kind of depends. All right. Where's our footer? Okay, there's nothing in the footer. That's why it's blank. So in the footer, we got our, where is it? Oh, half hour power hour. Thank you for the sub. Oh, Pranav, you're asking about the image viewer. It was, it's called Irfan View. It's just this, I don't know how I found out about it, but it's just this random little PC software. It's just for Windows, so unfortunately you can't use it for Mac, but I like it because it can sort of, you can get the colors from images. Yeah, Phoenix says, since I'm using VS Code, you can just hover over the color and a pop-up will appear. Oh, you can change the format. That's a really good tip. Where were we here? Variables. If I'm hovering over it, hello, there we go. Wait, how do I change formats? You can click on the format to change it. Oh my gosh. Oops. Press. There we go. Wow, mind blown. Thank you for that tip. That's really cool. Yeah, I actually hadn't used HSL colors before I did Frontend Mentor, but from what I've read, it's good because you can kind of control the lightness and stuff of colors without sort of affecting the tint, I guess. But anyway, cool. All right. Oh yeah, I was copying this stuff. Let's see what content we got here. So it's the logo, and then we have the links here, and then social links. So looks like all it gave us was the text for the text links. Okay. We'll just add this here. We'll need to modify some stuff because let's check out how it looks responsively. So on desktop, it's logo, text link, social, and it's 3 columns. And then the logo and this are on different sides. Then it just stacks on mobile. So, just trying to think. I guess we could use CSS Grid for this, which might be good. I'm just seeing the order of the links. It looks like it's fax, contact us. So I could make this 1 cell, 1 cell, 1 cell, 1 cell, 1 cell, and then maybe 2 cells between there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 columns. All right. Oh, Frank, thanks for joining us. Yeah, hope to catch you next time. Phoenix, happy to see stream using DDG as default search engine. Yeah, and using Firefox in private mode. Yeah, I don't know. I just, I hate to say it though, like, as much as I love DuckDuckGo and like their mission and everything, like Google is a better search engine. Just from, at least for when I'm researching like coding things. So if I don't find something with DuckDuckGo, I will switch over to Google, but I do try to use DuckDuckGo as my default. Okay, so let's see. We wanted to make a 7-column thing. So we'll do display grid. And we'll just do our desktop styles first because those are a bit more complicated. Gosh, I don't know if this approach is going to work though. Let's look back at the design. So saying CSS grid would be good because then I can just sort of, you know, have things out to the edge. But then they stack. I don't know. I feel like flexbox would work too. So I could do flex and then just do logo as one thing, then the text links, and then the social links. And then in the text links, I could do I could maybe do 3 child ones. I don't know. Let's see. Let's just try grid first. If that doesn't work, I'll switch to flexbox. Just because I did the last section with flexbox. So then for grid, we go grid template columns. And we'll do... I don't know. I don't think this is going to work, but let's just start. Repeat. We'll do 7 columns, 1 FR. Although, wait, let's just... Maybe we'll do different sized columns. So I could do 1 FR for the logo, 2 for the social, and then for these I could do let's see, maybe 1 FR, 1 FR, 1 FR, and then we'll do like maybe 2 FR and 2 FR. So 1, 2, 3, 3 of 1 FRs, and then 2 of 2 FRs. Would this work if I do this? Repeat 2 FRs? Let's find out. I just want to see if this is a valid. All right, I guess it worked. Yeah, flex and parent and text links can use grid. That's true. I could do that. I could. That seems like it might be a better solution. Okay, Phoenix, we will take your suggestion and do that. So, oops, display, flex, justify content. We'll do space between, so they go out to the edge. And then, let's see, we'll do our logo first. Wow, where's my brain, man? Div logo, and then we'll do div, we'll just do links. Div social. Hey, this is Claire. Thank you for joining us. Nicoletta, you have to go. Thanks so much for joining. I really appreciate, yeah, have a great weekend. Hope to see you next time. There we go. Okay. So we got our logo, we got our text links, and we got our social sort of section here. So let's see how I did the logo up at the top. I think I made this, yeah, it's an image tag. Okay. Image. Okay, so we'll just do the same thing. We'll use an image tag down here. Images, logo, SVG. Okay, so we know it's going to be a logo element here, and then an image element. So I just like to kind of type out the skeleton first, Then we have a links element. Then we have social. Yeah. Oh, Sclaire says I don't need to write a div if I create a div. Really? Oh, man. All right, cool. Man, my code writing is going to get so much faster after learning all these shortcuts. But yeah, the Sclaire, thank you for that. Oh, Phoenix, sorry, you said the same thing. Okay. Good to know. Man, Emmet really saves you a lot of time. I can't believe I just recently found out about it. Let's see. All right, so logo. We should probably set a width on this just because otherwise it'll be really big. But yeah, I like using Adobe XD. It's free, which is cool. It's like Adobe's gateway drug to their software products. So that is about 50, maybe we'll just say 60, round up. Oops, width is 60 pixels. Oh, you need Windows 10 for XD? Oh, didn't know that. Yeah. I think people also use Sketch, and I've heard of Figma. I think you need Windows 10 to use XD. But yeah, I don't know if Figma is available for Windows, but I've heard of, if you listen to the Syntax podcast with Scott Tlinsky and Wes Both, I think Scott likes using Figma for his design stuff. Okay, so let's just see what we got here. I haven't added too many styles, but okay, so there we go. And then I also want to add my social icons as well. And those will have to be links. So let's see what we got in our images for the social. Here, icon. So they're SVGs as well. Just for the sake of doing stuff different, I'm going to make the social icons background images. So we'll add a anchor link. We'll call this one, what was first? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So we'll do Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And then we'll just do this. Social, Twitter, Instagram. And then for each of those, oh, I know. We'll do this. Just because I don't want to nest too much. So we'll add some styles here. Cool. Oh, Figma. Cool. Forced updates on Windows 10. Yeah, that is a thing. Let's see. Let's see how big these icons are. So they're all about the same size. It's about 25 by 25. All right. We'll just do width. Background size, we'll do cover. And I don't know if this needs to be done, but okay. Then we'll add, so I'm adding some sort of global styles to the anchor links themselves. And then for each specific network, I will add the image. Images, what was it? Icon, Facebook. Oops. Social. Is this for the CSS? Or is it for the, Let's try this. Dude, thank you. Let's just try this. Social. Oh yeah, that angle thing. I haven't used that. A Facebook times 3. Man. Gold star. Gold star. Okay. Man, learning all these tricks. This is awesome. Okay. Let's do this. Twitter. Oops. Instagram. Yeah, this is awesome. Thank you so much to everyone for like contributing to the chat with like tips and stuff like that. I think it makes this way more fun than just me like talking and typing. So I think it's awesome. Okay. Let's see if these styles I added for the social icons worked. Oh, what's wrong? I bet I need a display block. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, because I think by default it's like display inline or something. Yeah. Display block. Or maybe display inline block. Then they're next to each other. But I was gonna use flexbox to like center them anyway, so I don't know. Let's try display inline block. I feel like that makes a little more sense. Just lazy. Yeah, that's what Bill Gates said. You want lazy people because they found ways to do everything in less time. It's true. I can't remember who said this, but there's this quote that's like the best programmers are people who are lazy and smart, I think. Because like, it was like, yeah, because if you're, the other opposite of lazy was diligent. So if you're diligent and not smart, then you would just like do like, it would take a lot of time to do stuff. But if you're like smart and lazy, then you're, I guess, smart enough to figure out faster ways to do things because you're lazy. So yeah, the angles used for child elements. Yeah, cool. For siblings you can use plus. Ooh, dang. Aslam, doctor, if it's not too much to ask, can you share info on how you set up the live coding stream? Yeah, just briefly, I use Streamlabs and then I connect Streamlabs to my YouTube channel. And Streamlabs has, you can download like these free themes and stuff. I guess I have time. We have time, right? Ugh. Let's see if this will work. So this is going to be a little bit of Infinity stuff, but in Streamlabs, you have themes that you can download. It takes a while to load them, I think. So these are all just different themes. So you can download them. Most of them are free. I did end up sort of creating a custom one myself. Just nothing fancy. Like I haven't done any crazy animations or anything, but just like the background image and like the social stuff, things like that. So yeah, it's Streamlabs OBS. And so far it seems to be working okay. I had some technical issues where it wouldn't connect to YouTube, but I think that was because I have 2-factor authentication built in. So I just need to log out and log in every time I start the stream so it connects correctly to YouTube. So I have not figured out a way around that yet, but it only takes a second to do. Okay, let's try some more of these VS Code shortcuts. So A, and then I don't think I need a class for that. So just do A, or do I need to do times A times 5? Whoa, mind blown. So awesome. But yeah, Aslam, I hope that helps. Oops. I mean, I'm just getting started with streaming, so like I don't know like a lot of, I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of features and stuff that I haven't figured out yet, but I think this is good enough for like just your basic stream. I'm not doing gaming or anything, so I don't have any like, I think there's like buttons. You can add your own shortcuts that'll do different actions and stuff. And some people do crazy things, like they'll hook up, like they'll use, I think, an Arduino or a Raspberry Pi or something. And so like anytime something happens, like let's say they get a new subscriber on their stream platform, then it'll do something like in the real world, like blink some lights or whatever. So it's kind of crazy. Yeah, I need to study more Emmet shortcuts. I think I just knew the basic, very basic stuff to get started, but it seems like there's a lot of shortcuts, so I will need to do some research on that. Yeah. Oh, cool. DMX showed that trick in his post. Yeah, I think I remember reading that, but I did not, clearly the information did not stick with me. We'll just do, I forgot to do this when I added those anchor links. Okay, let's see where we are. All right, so we got links. We don't want them to be blue and underlined, of course. So they're sort of this darker, I think they're this darker gray color. And there's no underline. We'll add an underline on the hover state. Let's see what color we want to use. Dark gray. And then text decoration, none. But then on hover, we want oh, Clark.io had those effects in the stream. Yeah, I think that's kind of where I've seen them too. But yeah, maybe someday we'll have to figure out something really cool. Okay. Looks all right. Let's just add some padding to the overall footer and also center things vertically, because I believe, looks like, hold on. It's not exactly centered vertically. The logo isn't, at least. So it looks like the logo is at the top and the text links are at the top. And then the social icons are centered. Yeah, spacing and padding left. So yeah, let's figure out this padding stuff. So if we, where's that line? It's right about there. So there's top padding of about 46. Bottom padding about 46. So we'll do that. So in the footer, we'll go padding 46, 0. See how that looks. Okay, so the top padding is good. I think we need to add that wrapper class to the footer. I forgot. Oh, whoa, nope, didn't want that. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna have to add another div inside here. There we go. I don't like getting mixed up with my CSS and HTML. Let's see. Unindent that. Wait, something's not right. Oh, here we go. There, now everything's right. So we'll do a footer container. Although maybe I'll just add the wrapper class in this. So that way it has that light gray thing all the way across, but then I'm going to have to change this to this. Okay. Okay, so now the light gray background is going all the way across. I added some extra space here when I was first starting. That's why it's like this. But we'll remove that since we don't need it anymore. Here we go. Okay. It's going all the way across, which is good. There's a lot of padding down there. What's going on? Oh, I think oh, it's because of the wrapper. I don't know if I want that wrapper class, to be honest. Because all I really need is the max width thing. I'm going to take it out. So we're just going to add, here we go. is the same as the wrapper class I have up here. So max width of 1110. Same thing here. If I were really smart, I would create like a variable for the max width, but I'm just going to leave it. It is fine. Okay. Let's see how that works. And then I need to do margin auto, of course. And that will center it. All right. Yeah, 1110, thank you. Sorry, let me just stay hydrated here. This is used. Display property can be in social. Oh, let's see. I think it's because the inline block property, it's to make the, I don't know if this is what you mean, Phoenix. Oh, I guess that works too. Or did I even save this? Social. Oh wait, where'd it go? Yeah, I think I do need the inline block and the actual links, because by default anchor links are display inline. And so, yeah, it won't take the width and the height that I've set unless I set it to display inline block. Okay, hey, we're doing good. Now we got the padding going, got the max width going. Now let's try to center these things. So I was looking, but it doesn't seem like the logo is actually vertically centered, so I might just do centering on each sort of section individually. So we'll kind of worry about that as we get to it, I believe. Let's see. So the container is here. I'm just going to add a little border here. My console log of CSS, as you said. I forgot who it was. There we go. So now we can kind of see what we got there. So logo looks fine. Let's look at the text links. Okay, so they're divided up into 3 columns. And I believe, and I forgot who said this, but we can do CSS grid for that. So let's try that. Okay, so links. Let's just try testing it in the browser first. Display grid, and then what is this going to be? It's going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. I wonder if I can just do it individually for each, like not have to put these in their own div and stuff. Because grid template columns, there's 3 columns. Yeah, because the problem here is that they're going across. Repeat 4. I'm not sure if 4 is what is needed. Let me know if I'm wrong here, because I definitely haven't figured this out. Because the problem is I want the fax and then contact us, because that's what the order is for mobile. I mean, I guess I can change the order on mobile. Fax, contact us. Yeah, so it like goes down like that. So I think what I'm not sure about is how to do the order like that. No problem. Grid order. Yeah, I don't know if I'm just sort of making things more, excuse me, more complicated with doing it this way. Like, I just don't know if there's a way to go, down like that, and then across. Oh, no, I can't do that. So yeah, okay. I forgot I haven't done a ton of CSS grid aside from like super basic stuff. So in some ways this is a learning experience for me. So we're going to have to add like explicit like span properties for each one. Or like grid column and grid row. So we'll put this here, display grid, grid template columns. Oops. GTC is repeat 3, 1FR. And then I'll do rows too, GTR. Oh, that's weird, it doesn't work. And we'll do 2, repeat 2, 1FR. Okay, then we'll just sort of we'll position each link individually. So I guess I'll just do first child. Let's just make sure this works first. First child, anchor link, which is the fax one. We'll do, what was it? Grid column and grid row. Okay, we'll just do grid column and grid row. It's kind of seeing how else they write it here. Okay, so I think I'm going to do like this, grid column and grid row for each one. So I think I can do grid column, and it's sort of like a shortcut, so I can do start and end, or start and span. So we will do, start will be on the first line, 1, and then the end will be, I guess, 2. Is that right? Grid row will be, I think, 1 and 2 also. Let's just kind of see how that looks. Okay, obviously this is working because it's the first one, but there's a grid inspector that Firefox has, which let's try that out. Oops, div links. Here we go. Let's make that red. Or what's easiest to see? Maybe black. We'll just do black. Okay, so you can see here, fax is starting at, so these are the lines of the grid. So I made 3 columns. So the first line is going to be, the first grid column line is 1, and then 2, 3, 4. So there's 4 lines total for the columns, 3 lines total for the rows. So what I was saying was that the first fac link will start, for the columns, it'll start at the first line and at the second line. So that's what the 1/2 means. And for the row, it's 1 and then 2. So I should theoretically be able to do this for all of them. So we'll do, I believe it's nth child 2. And then that's going to be the contact us. So for desktop, we want it to be on the second row, but the first column. So the grid column should be the same thing as the top one, but then the grid row will be on the second row. So I will start at 2, end at 3. And let's see how that looks. Okay, so this is working, which is great, because if I remove that, you can see it was next to it, but because I sort of designated the position, it's now positioned where I want it to be under the FAQ one. So then next one will be privacy policy. So maybe I'll just copy this. Nth child 3, which will be privacy policy. That's going to be on the second column. So we'll start on the second line, go to the third line, and then it's in the first row. So we'll start at 1 and go to 2. So hopefully this makes sense to everybody. So yeah, so privacy policy is now starting at 2, ending on 3 for the column, starting at 1, end at 2 for the row. So we'll just kind of continue this way for all of them. Nth child 4, which will be press kit. So that'll be on the second column, second row. So second column, second row. Is that right? Press kit? Yep. And then the last one will be install guide, which is kind of the way it's the leftover one, but we'll sort of set it explicitly as well. It's going to be on the third column. So it ends at 4, and it'll be on the first row. There we go. And it looks good in terms of positioning. We'll add a little bit of spacing, I think. Yeah, Phoenix, the grid start is the right property as well. I think I was just using like the shortcut version. But you know, whatever works for you. So it looks like there's about 90 pixels of space. I might do percentage for that just to have it be a little more responsive. Well, I think this space could be responsive, so let's do, why not just change it in HTML? Yeah, so the problem is the mobile view, so by default, if I didn't position it with grid, it would go across, you know, fax, whatever. But then on the mobile view, the order is the same. So fax, contact us, privacy policy. So that's kind of why I'm having to do this. So I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, so the natural way would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the links would be in a different order. So hopefully that, hope that makes sense. Okay, so 90 pixels with, add a line item center to footer container, align everything vertically. Cool. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. We will probably have to add that in a second. Let me just add the padding to the things. So I guess what I want to know is if I want to add padding, what's the best way to do that? I mean, I guess I could add it to here. I could just add padding to the right padding to each one. Let's see how that looks. Footer links A, padding right 90 pixels. Okay, I guess that works. Just gonna want to see how that looks. I might do percentage, honestly. That's weird. 29 pixels. Maybe it does need to be static pixels. Let's just do that. Oh, grid gap. That's right. Grid gap. Although it's a bit and it's like really tall because it's only horizontally. Can you do grid gap like horizontal and vertical? Do you know? I'm just curious. Oh yeah, you can. So we'll do column gap, 90 pixels. And then row gap, maybe like 20. Cool. Let me just see exactly how much that row gap's going to be. About 25, so we'll make it 25. Where were we? Here we go. column gap 90, and then row gap 25. And then we'll probably do, uh-oh, what happened here? What happened? Can't read property, really? What did I do? Weird. Looks like it's still okay. Maybe, that's weird. Let me just close this. I'm not sure what happened. Oh, it looks like it's working. Hold on, I'm just gonna try changing this and see if it does anything. Not sure what happened. Yeah, it looks like it's still processing, so not sure what that means. Okay. Weird. Okay, well, I'm not gonna worry about that. Okay. Looks pretty good. Thank you. Okay, now let's vertically center the social ones. So yeah, who's telling me to do align item center? Yeah, Aslam. We can do that for here. Align item center. So then we'll just add like a margin to each of them. So that's going to be in the social element. Oh, grid row gap. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't say what line it was on. I mean, it seems to still be working, so I think maybe we'll be okay. We'll just try to ignore that. Yeah, still seems to be working. Will I ever make an Adobe XD tutorial? I guess I could. I just don't feel like I have enough like design knowledge to do it, but there are a few other YouTube channels that do helpful things. Like one is Dev Ed. Another one is Design Course on YouTube. And I feel like they're pretty cool. Okay. But yeah, it's a good idea. I'll definitely keep it in mind. Okay, let's get these social things going. So social. So we're done with these links. Well, we'll have to go back for mobile styles, but display flex, align items, center, and then for the anchor links, we'll just do a margin. Was it A? Not last child. Margin left. Wait. Margin right. Of, we'll just say 15 pixels. See how that looks. Yeah, Design Course is great. There we go. Maybe a little bit more spacing. Let's see how they did it here. Yeah, there's a little more spacing. It's about 25, so we'll do 25. Okay, that looks better. We are almost there, y'all. Okay, so there's some space between the logo and the text links, but that looks okay. Let's just see how this looks responsively. So let's just turn this off for a second. Yeah, I don't know. Grid get row value, column value. I feel like if I like close and restart, it might be okay. I think it was just something that I typed in. and it's not resolving very well. Okay, so here we go here. This is more tablet. So it's like, at what point do I want to stack it? I think I'd like it to be like this on tablet if possible. Let's just see. Check the emulator. Oop, there we go. So I think that's okay. I'm just gonna reduce the grid gap for tablet. So let's do that. So up in the links, let's see. So now we're gonna add our breakpoint mixin again for large, and then maybe we'll add another one for tablet. And I think I called that medium. Oops. Yeah, the gap's a bit high for tablet. So here we go. This is what we want for desktop because we know it looks good there. And then I think we'll keep the row gap for tablet. Sorry. That looks okay. So I think we'll have the same grid row gap for desktop and medium tablet. But then we're going to make the grid column gap. Let's just try 40 for tablet. Okay, so that looks a lot better. And then I think we need to add some padding on either side as well. Let's just see what this looks like on mobile right now. Yeah, so we're going to make these stack for mobile. I'm just trying to see what the wrapper, like how much padding have I added to these for mobile? Wrapper, looks like there's 32 pixels of padding. Oh, it's because I didn't add that wrapper class stuff. Let's see. Yeah, padding left and right. We'll just copy this for the footer. I guess we could just do 32. Let's see how that works. Okay, so that looks better. Let's see how it looks on desktop. I do want to make sure that everything is okay. So it looks like things are not quite lining up the way they think they should. Because see, this is going all the way out to 1100, but it looks like here it's 1100 plus padding. So it's actually a bit, actually that's okay. That's going all the way out. Just trying to make sure my containers are all right. Yeah, I need that extra padding, I think. You can see the dotted lines going down through the logo. $1,100 and it's padding of 32. Wait, why is this padding not working? Maybe it really is broken. I have to restart VS Code. Oh, I added it to the footer. Okay. I need to add it to the footer container. We'll do this. Okay. So that looks better. So now you can see, it looks like if you look at those dotted lines, it's going up. The logos, let's see if the logos are lined up as well. So just trying to make sure everything kind of lines up right to the edge. So it does look like the text is okay, but the logos have a little additional space that I need to fix. Oh, geez. It's because it's being centered. Okay, we'll go back and fix that later. Yes, add in footer container. You had that correct. Okay, let's go back to our footer links and kind of, this looks okay. It's iPad mini. Let's go look at the iPhone. So we need to stack these on mobile. So we're almost there, everyone. I hope you're as excited as I am. Okay, so footer container, display, block, I think we'll fix that. So it'll stack those. Then in the links, we'll change the grid template columns. I'll have to change all the grid stuff. Although if we just do display block, that might get rid of everything. Display block, then I'll make each link display block as well. And text line center. See how that looks. Is that kind of what's on mobile? Yeah. We're going to do that. We're just going to remove the grid and the flexbox for all the footer elements on mobile. Okay, so footer container, for tablet, we do want things to still be in columns, so we'll do medium, end up, and then we'll just move all these down to medium. And then we'll do the same thing for the links. So display grid, add all those grid stuff only on medium and up. And then the anchor links, we want it to be display block. Let's see if that messes up on desktop. But okay, so now things are stacking. Obviously we need to add a little padding down there, but we're just kind of trying to get it, you know, on the large scale working. So looks good on tablet. Looks good on desktop. So Nishal, why am I using CSS grid and flex at the same time? It's to do different things. So what I did was in the footer container, it's a flex element. So in this footer container, we have the logo, the links, and the social. And I made those flexed just to make them be able to vertically center them and, you know, take up X amount of space. And then for the links, we use CSS grid because we need to control the actual position of all these links on desktop. So because the contact us is actually the second link, but if we didn't use grid, it would go fax, contact us, privacy policy, etc. And that's not what the design had. But on mobile, we want them to just stack. So CSS grid was kind of the most efficient way to do that. So I hope that answers your question. Phoenix, for company logos, you can use space between them. I'll get rid of the spaces. Yeah, that makes sense. We'll get to that right after we do the footer, which looks like we're almost there actually. So let's just do one more check. This is going to tablet. Now it's stacked. So we need to just style the mobile styles for the footer links. So let's do that. Okay, so let's go back to our design file. So there's some space over there. We'll take our little rectangle that we've been using just to kind of see what size things are. So under the logo, it's about 45 or 46. And then between each text link, it is about 37. Okay, so 45 and then 37. So if we go back into our code, on the logo, we'll just add it on the logo thing itself. So we'll say margin bottom 45. And then we don't want to do it on medium and up. So, and then for the links, for each link, we'll just sort of copy this. But instead of 45, it was 30. Let's just say 35. Okay. So that looks pretty good. Then we'll just sort of center these things. So I think if I do text line center, yeah, we could do the same thing for the logo. Okay. Actually, I wonder if I just do Okay, we'll do it on the footer container so then they can inherit it. Oops. Wrong one. Here we go. So on the footer container, we'll do text align center. I guess we don't really need that anymore, so we'll remove that. Okay, cool. And then we want to do the same thing for social. I think if we just do justify content center. Yeah. And it's a little bit more space there. 55. So we'll do social. Here we are. Let's just make sure that doesn't mess up anything on desktop. Is it vertically centered on desktop? I think it might have been. Yeah, it looks like it is. Okay, so I think we're all good there. Let's go back to mobile and just kind of polish the styles a bit. So we'll need a little bit of additional spacing. So I think for the last link, I will add 55 pixels of margin bottom. So last child, margin bottom, 55 pixels. And we'll get rid of that. Oh, McCaffrey, thank you for joining the stream today. We'll see you next time. Yes, Phoenix, we're almost there. Oh, Pranav says margin top. Yeah, I could have also done margin top for the social. I don't know. I kind of just like using margin bottoms as much as I can just to keep things consistent. But, you know, I think everyone has their own approach to doing things. Okay, so I think the mobile styles for the footer are pretty good. Let's just do one last sort of sanity check. So desktop looks good. And it goes to tablet, which is also fine. Oh, wait, this looks weird. Oh, it's because I did the text align center. Okay. So text align left from medium and up. There we go. Because that text thing was getting centered on medium. Okay, looks good. Okay, let's go back and fix those logos. Phoenix, for the company logos, you can use space between. I'll get rid of the spaces. Okay. Well, the thing is, what did I do here? It was the logos container is the flex parent. Let's just add our border back here. Okay. So this was the parent, or sorry, the logos container is a parent. And then each one logo is, it's also display flexed. So, geez, this kind of sucks. I think, because what I want is I want the first image to be all the way to the left and the last one to be all the way to the right, which I could do individually. But then that will make the space between the logos. I mean, I guess there's, the space isn't necessarily the same anyway, so maybe it's okay. It's tough, guys. I think I'm just going to do the first one. I'll do it. What was it? Justify content. Is that right? Oh, no, it's a column, so I think I need to do align items. Or flex start. So I'll do flex start and then flex end for the last one. So logo. First child. And we'll do flex. Oh, sorry. What was it? Align items flex start. And then last child, we'll do flex end. So then at least, oh wait, something's not right. Ooh, why is that not working? Should work, right? First child. Yeah, logo first child, which is logo. Oh, logo container. You mean like... Oh, the footer container? I don't know if that would work. Oh, thank you. Jeez. Yeah, I was in the complete wrong section, like completely. Here we go. Okay, that looks more like it. Thank you. I was still stuck in the footer one. So you can see it's not perfect though, because now the space is uneven. So let's see, what could I do about this? Yeah, because that's just not great. I could... I could do something super hacky, like add a negative, like right margin to the first and then negative left margin to the last one, or like negative something. But I don't think that's a good solution. I hate to say it, but I feel like I need to kind of rework the whole thing and remove that logo. Remove the logo element at all. Or I could add more spacing. Yeah, this is just not good. Things always look easier on the design file, right? So it's like this. Yeah, set the left and right margin, the first and last to 0. Yeah, the problem is I'm not using the left and right margin like at all right now. Okay, yeah, let's go back to the design file, see what we got. So the whole container is the 1100, max width of the whole thing. So theoretically, if I just made the images themselves the flex children, then I could do, the space between property. But then the reason we added that logo div was because we were having issues with the aspect ratio. But maybe we can just kind of try to do that, because I think this is not a good solution at all. So we will just keep this, but I'm going to comment it out. Just in case we have to go back to it. And then for this one, we'll just sort of start playing around. Remove those logo divs. And we'll just have to rewrite our styles a little bit. So, logos. Control Oh, thank you. Control space, control slash. Whoa. All right. You've all taught me today that I really need to check out a reference for all the different shortcuts in VS Code. Oh, okay. You can do by section. Wow. Okay, let's go back to here. So let's try this again. Oops. I'm gonna comment this out. Ooh, nice. And we'll just kind of start over, I think. So this is what we want. So now we've made the logos container a flex parent and justify content space between. So, okay, so now the spacing looks fine, but obviously the images are skewed. So let's do logos container image. And the problem again was because it makes them all, I think the height should be auto or no? Let's try width of 100. How with auto height of 30 pixels. Well, looks like they're not skewed. Although, yeah, it's like this. They shouldn't be the same height in the design. They're different heights. Well, you know what I could do? I could. Yeah, so they are skewed. But what I could do is for this element, what if I did width auto height of 30 pixels? So then that looks okay. So I could just sort of size each of them individually, which I think would work. And I'll add in the line items of center, so then they're vertically centered. Yeah, so Control Shift. Oh, yeah, that's another thing. I was wondering because it's like commenting every individual line. Control Shift. Wait, Control Shift. That's not working for me for some reason. Yeah, maybe it doesn't work in CSS. Okay, so, Clovis, repeat for. Yeah, I could do that for grid. I think just because we are using flexbox for these at the moment. But you could definitely build this with grid as well. So I think I'm just going to kind of do what I've done. Yeah, we're just going to do each child. And let's just work on the last one just to make sure that what I'm trying to do is working. Oops. Sometimes the Firefox inspector doesn't update or something. I don't know what happens. Wait, why is this? Oh my gosh. Wait, someone told me this before. But yeah, adding the line item center fixes the flexbox is so freaking weird sometimes. It's not super intuitive, but maybe it's just because I don't know it. So adding the line items property actually fixed the skewing stuff. And then, dang. Okay, I really need to remember that. Now they're the correct, the good height, and they're going out and they're spaced evenly. Perfect. Okay, we'll fix that in a second. Wow. Okay, let's add that. So I think this is kind of the way to go. So I guess we don't need to individually style each one. Okay. This is probably my biggest lesson of today, that adding align items will sort of fix images skewing. I guess because when you add align items, when it's positioning them vertically, it also sort of sizes them correctly somehow. That's weird. Okay. So it looks fine on desktop, but then as we get narrower, what do we want to do? It's we could make them smaller. So logos container image width of 100%, or no, flex. We want it to allow it to grow. We don't want it to grow necessarily. We do want it to be able to shrink. So we'll add a 1 for flex shrink, I guess is called, and then auto. Don't want it to wrap. Flex wrap, no wrap. Okay, line item probably doesn't force the height to be 100%. Okay, that's really good to know. Now, why is this? Oh, wait a minute. Am I removing display flex for? Okay. Oh, that's why. Okay. Display flex is, we want it to be display flex for medium also. So we'll change that breakpoint to medium. So let's see how that looks now. There we go. Okay, so this is obviously we don't want to happen, but we'll just add some maybe margin or something. And then it's stacking on here. So let's use the emulator and check the iPad. Okay, so it's fitting on one line. Maybe we'll allow it to wrap. Oops. If I can type. And then maybe for medium, i.e. tablet, we'll do center. So then things will kind of be centered at least. Although then you just have like one logo at the bottom, which is not ideal. Maybe for each, we'll add some spacing. Like that. Oh, that's pretty good. I'll add some bottom margin as well. Maybe a little more bottom margin. Okay, that actually looks not bad. So what I'm doing is I'm just adding margins to each of the images. And that would just be for medium. I don't know what margin we really need for, we'll just say 0 for desktop. Yeah, flex direction, that would make it go for columns versus rows. Wait, why is that not working? Oh, it's the, okay. I think I've been coding for too long. Mixing up all my stuff. So then logo, is that right? No, image. There we go. So for the image themselves, that's where I'm adding this space. So that looks good. And then desktop, good. There we go. Yeah. Okay, and then on, I guess this is, what is this? So iPad. So for phones, it's stacking like this, which we just need to kind of center that. That was easy. Logos container, text line center. Okay, I'm really glad that we were able to fix this. And then we need to text align left for everything else. Okay. Oh, it looks so much better. Very happy about that. Looks good. And then desktop looks good. Cool, Johnny. What does flex 1 do? Is that a kind of width? Sort of. So for flexbox, oh, add padding at bottom. Okay, we'll double check that. Yeah, we probably need to double check the spacing anyway. But so for the logos container, this is flexbox, which is fitting all the child elements on one line because that's kind of how we want it to be. And then for each one, I guess I didn't do it here, but flex 1 basically is a shorthand, which means that every child element will have, it's a ratio. So every child element will have the same width. So it'll space the width evenly. So each child has the same, well, it's not here because I didn't set it, but I think I did, I did flex stuff down here. So like for the logo, okay, I can't find an example. Basically, it'll just flex of 1 to all the child flex elements will make them have the same width as each other. So, okay, let's double check these things. Add padding at the bottom. Pranav, do you mean for the logos? Maybe how it looked on mobile? Let's see. Ooh, I think I want them to be display block for mobile. And then margin. We'll do margin 0, auto, 40, auto for mobile. And that's for the logo images themselves. Then this other margin thing is for medium. Okay, yeah. Let's see if this looks better. Let's compare it to the design. Yeah, there's more space, you're right. Let's see let's just kind of guesstimate how much that is. 69, so maybe 70 or so. Yeah, so there's only 40, so let's do 70 for mobile. Okay, that looks better. Man. All right, so I think we're kind of done. Clovis. Yeah, thanks for joining. I think we're actually going to wrap up now because we basically finished the page. So thanks to all of you for, helping out, contributing in the chat. This has been really fun. We're going to just keep continuing doing more front-end mentor templates in the future. So, yeah, I can do that. I think that works for me. Let's see. Control Shift? That doesn't work for me for some reason. I can go up and down scrolling, but for some reason that doesn't work. But Hemi, yeah, thanks for joining us. Like your design work process, thanks. Yeah, I'm so excited we finished this page, everyone. It only took 4 videos, so which is great. But yeah, we'll continue doing this, every, in HTML. We'll try to do this every Saturday. Yeah, it doesn't work for me. I'm not sure why. I'll have to look up that. But yeah, we'll continue streaming every Saturday. So thanks so much for joining. Yeah, appreciate all of y'all joining. We'll see you next time.